I want to acknowledge to the committee that I attest I have no financial conflict of interest. And also in my speech, I want to note that I have permission to discuss a minor patient from her mother. My name is Christy Dobbs. I'm a dental hygienist, wife, and mother of 4. I am pro-science and I believe in good medicine. I received my first and only dose of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine on January 18, 2021. I had an immediate reaction at the hospital clinic where I was appointed. My initial reaction was a tingling sensation in my left arm where I had just received the shot. I felt as though water was dripping inside my arm. I had barely sat down in a monitoring station when I suddenly had a pre-syncopal episode. I couldn't breathe, felt hot, I had increased pulse, respirations, and heart rate, as well as a blood pressure reading that was so high it was stroke-worthy. The next 2 days following my Pfizer vaccine, my symptoms included sore arm, fatigue, swollen lymph nodes, and a headache. These are all the normal side effects I anticipated and was given as informed consent. However, on day 3 after the inoculation, the effects of the vaccine started to ravage my body. I had sharp stabbing pain in my left scapular region, as well as paresthesias and tremors in my left arm and hand. By day 4, I was having full body tremors and paresthesias, as well as an internal electrical vibration feeling, tinnitus, extreme fatigue, brain fog, muscle pain and weakness, inability to sleep, and multiple autonomic dysfunctions. I have had over 22 different symptoms that have plagued me over the last 9 months. To date, I have seen over 15 different medical providers and specialists. Back in March, I even had a telehealth visit with one of Dr. Knapp's colleagues, Dr. Savagery at the NIH, and I have been specifically told not to vaccinate my children. I have sent my blood to the NIH as well as prestigious universities and private researchers looking for answers. My vaccine injury has been reported to Pfizer, VAERS, CDC, FDA, NIH, and other prominent research facilities. Messages and meetings have transpired between the vaccine-injured and top officials at the CDC and FDA, including Rochelle Walensky, Peter Marks, Janet Woodcock, and Paul Richards. They have all known about these COVID-19 vaccine injuries since at least early this year. I have met countless others that have been injured by the COVID-19 vaccines, and because of the intentional suppression of these reactions, the injured have been unable to get essential medical care, research for treatment, and there is clearly no recovery plan or financial support. We are being silenced, abandoned, and cast aside as collateral damage. I have met 13-year-old Maddie DeGarry, who was severely injured and is now confined to a wheelchair with a feeding tube after receiving her Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine under clinical trial. She's been given no real medical help, abandoned by Pfizer, the test clinic, and the FDA. Her adverse event was coded as nothing more than a stomachache, and her mother fights every day for answers and help while watching her child endure this painful journey. I accepted my vaccine as a personal responsibility to my family, community, and country. He chose to participate in the vaccine trial as a brave 12-year-old child wanting to beat COVID and get back to normal. We were wrongfully coerced into taking this vaccine by prominent politicians, world health leaders, and renowned medical directors of this country. We were told that these vaccines are safe and effective, but Maddie and I are living proof that these vaccines are not safe nor effective. If we impose these vaccines on our most vulnerable, our children, it will be an absolute crime against humanity. If it's happened to us, it will happen to more. We have got to protect our children. They are our future. We are real, not rare.
From the COVID vaccine.
The Light Warrior podcast, number 5.
Contacted all of you, and you have replied.
Vax-injured, Gaslit, and German Fauci flip-flops.
That sent me a message 10 minutes after I walked out of here, and I stressed that no one had gotten back to me. I have been directed to all kinds of offices. I've had automatic replies from Rubio. I've had replies, even though I have been on Governor DeSantis' roundtable and Latipo, their offices are not contacting me or any other vaccine injured that have served on their roundtables. I've been to Walt's office, and then Corey Mills, which all of you told me to get in contact with. I got an automatic reply. I consistently talked to them. I did have 2 people that did reply back.
All of this podcast made it to 1 hour.
That I thought they should. I do not expect. I'm sorry.
At least.
I'll pray for you, because there's no treatment for what I have. I don't even know how long I have. I don't even know if I'll see my grandchildren or great-grandchildren, but I'm speaking out for future generations, and I will speak out as much as I can. I have been to Publix, Walmart, Target, all kinds of pharmacies. Each one of them are continuing to give out the vaccine because they tell you, they say that they're only doing what corporate does, but they already know that vaccine injuries and deaths have happened.
Gonna kill you.
I will no longer stand and watch my family and friends that have been vaccine injured or lost their loved ones. I have heard them cry. Do you know how many people that have committed suicide because they cannot take the injury or the gaslighting from the doctors, especially from Volusia County, because I have to go 2 hours away because no one will address it. These doctors have taken an oath and they are not doing it. One person, that's all it takes, is to do the right thing. I will continue to talk out, and I will continue to be in people's faces. And I will continue to have rallies, and I will also have protests if I have to. I will be your next hurricane. Thank you.
Craig Smith.
Really changed all sorts of things, and I suppose it indeed brought you here ultimately.
Yeah.
So what happened to you?
You know, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I want to do what's right for the community. I wanted to stop this pandemic. I'm not anti-vax in any way. So I went in, I went to protect my community. And unfortunately, my reaction wasn't what I thought it would be. And it changed my life. And it's been almost 2 years. And it's something that I'm not really allowed to speak publicly about because it's so taboo. And maybe it's rare.
Well, it's on my podcast.
But it's real. And
Pussycat.
I live it every single day.
Real.
But I think my point of being here, Jan, since I'm also a fan of your show, I would like to speak to the Vax-injured and let them know that they're not alone. This is real. Your voice matters. You're loved. It's time to take off your tinfoil hat that has been so graciously given to you by other people, because you're not crazy. It's happening. And I think it's time to get the researchers and the doctors involved to heal us, because I know we will heal. And I think it's important to speak out now, truly.
And it's one of those things nobody wants to talk about.
Really?
And I definitely don't like to talk about
That's
it.
why you're here on my podcast.
But it's personal, you know. Like I
That's what we'll talk
suffered
about.
with the suicidal intention for months. With the vaccine reaction, it's not like it's fleeting. It's not like it's a moment in time where you've had a couple of bad days and then it's over, right? When I was in that situation, I hadn't slept for months. I had the raging tinnitus, the electrical sensations all over my body, which I still have to this day, every moment of every day. My brain fog was, off the charts. I couldn't eat. You could see every single rib in my body. I'd lost so much weight because I just couldn't eat. I was one step away from having a feeding tube. They put me on marijuana. I mean, they did everything to try to get me to
changed green, did you?
And to be able to consume food. I was not in a good place. Like, I remember waking up every single day, and it's still to this day. I wake up every single morning to this electrical surging through my body. That's what greets me every morning. And it was hard to cope with that. It was hard to learn to live with that, right? And so there was a time where I couldn't rest. There was no joy for even a minute in my day. And that went on for months, to the point where it's like, what's the point, right? And so I wanted to be done. And I had a plan. And I, wrote goodbye letters to my kids. Sorry. I'll never forgive myself for that, for almost destroying their lives. But at the time I couldn't think through it. I wasn't thinking straight. I wasn't thinking about them. But I hid it. I was ashamed, right? So I didn't tell people about it. And as I overcame that issue, right? As I overcame that and I learned to accept it, which was really, really hard, right? It's still something that I work on all the time. Be like, you know, look, I have a choice every day when I wake up, right? I have a choice to accept my body sucks, right? And it hurts, and it's, you know, all these weird things are going on. And I can accept that, though. It doesn't mean that I'm okay with it, but it means that I can accept it and go, yes, this is part of my life, but my kids need X, Y, Z. The injured need ABC, right? And if I'm trapped, and if all I'm doing is being miserable and suffering inside my head, I'm not doing any of them any good, and also I'm not doing myself any good, because then there goes all my healing energy for myself, right? So it took a long time to be able to evolve from my life is wrecked, it sucks, to what it is now, which is I need to fight, I need to stick with it. Doesn't matter how bad this gets, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that that my life means something, and that my kids, I'm there for my kids. But I hid that. I hid that whole process because I was so embarrassed, and so it's humiliating to think that you are brought to your knees to the point where you want nothing more than to just be dead, right? Nobody wants to admit that they were that vulnerable and that their life was that bad, right? Because it's seen as a weakness. But that's not what it is, you know?
Make your weakness your strength.
I had a friend, and this is when I realized that I couldn't hide it anymore. I had a really good friend who was injured. She was a COVID long hauler for a long time, and then she got vaccinated hoping that would fix the long haul, because that was the promise, right? The lie that it would fix long haul.
The lie.
And instead it made her dramatically worse. And we talked every day, and she ended up ending her life. And her husband called and told me that she was on life support. And I'll never forget that call, because I had just barely come out of that place in my own head. And so, but the last words she's told me was, you know, you're so strong. And when she said that, I was kind of taken back and embarrassed, right? Because I knew where I just was in my head. I knew where I was just like, you know, almost about ready to check out. And so I didn't say anything to her. I just said, thank you. But in reality, what I should have told her is just how bad it was. I should have told her the journey that I had just been on myself. I should have told her just how hard it was. Because then maybe that would have given her the reason to hang on. Maybe that would have given her a little bit of, you know, the understanding that, look, I'm not strong. I'm just like you. I'm just like anyone else. I'm just doing my best. And yes, it sucks.
You know, I can't thank you for sharing that.
Suck. Thank you.
I can't help but think that, you know, in your case, you actually have a very supportive family. And despite that, it was so horrible. I just can hardly imagine what it would be like for people whose family members may not believe them because they've been told safe and effective, no chance of this. It's just in your head.
And that's the real, I mean, when it comes down to it, that's the only reason I'm alive, is because my husband believed me and validated me, and he stood by me every step of the way. Had I not had that support, I would have been done, no question. There's no question. My kids would not have a mom, you know, their lives would be ruined, the whole thing. We would not be sitting here today. There's the vast majority of the people that do complete suicide in the COVID vaccine injury world, they do not have supportive family. I want to think there's 2 of the, I think we're at 27, 28 now. Could be upwards of 30.
You need groups. People censor.
There's only 2 that I know of
Point they can't even
were from
speak out.
families that were supportive and watching them.
Support groups.
The rest were people that their family members had walked away. There was a woman who, medical professional, beautiful family, adult children. Her husband left her because of the burden, because she was trapped in her bed. You know, she wasn't getting better. And so he left her, and he told the kids, the adult kids, he said, you guys are going to be stuck here caring for your mom until she dies, so you better get out. So the kids left, and so she went and found a way to do it that was sanctioned by the Canadian government, and so she went through with it and ended her life. And I know that people see that as just a number, but that's a real human being. That's someone that deserved better, and that's someone that deserved to have some dignity and some respect for, you know, she didn't have any choice into what happened to her. And so she should be just like a cancer patient. Cancer patient gets their diagnosis.
To be a number.
They're sat down with their family members and their medical teams, right? And they say, okay, here's a plan. Family, this is how you can support this person, right? The opposite is happening here. You get a reaction and boom, you're done. And they probably are, you know, there's no help for you. And the help that you do get is going to be from random people you find on the internet, you know, that just happen to have the secrets from the NIH.
We're doing good, unvaxxed. Help that woman.
I've been injured by the P1. I have CIDP, MCAS, microclotting, the list goes on. Adverse reactions do happen, they do exist. We're real, not rare. We have been left abandoned by our government, and we're searching for help. There is no state and federal money to study us. If we had long COVID, there is state and federal money to study them, have clinics. They're taken care of. But the ones that have been injured...
They got money to bus in immigrants.
We've been gaslit by doctors. A lot of us have been not diagnosed, treated. Many of us suffer from chronic illness, disabilities, and even death. I was fortunate to have a doctor who cared. And I have been 35 months getting IVIG through an infusion center at an oncology department, where I sat there for 6 hours being infused. In the beginning, it started 10 hours a month. So I went 2 days a month. And now I have moved to a sub-Q, which I can do from the comforts of my home. So my shipment of medication just came in through FedEx. So I'm opening up my boxes. They do send
FedEx beats UPS and USPS. Just use FedEx.
And I'm going to have to put them in the cooler. Are crying out for help because of no state and federal money for the injured. We're not being studied. Our biggest cry for help is to be studied. We want help, and we're asking for help. We have cried out for help. Many of us have been in this journey for 3.5 years. Nobody's studying us. So we're asking to be studied. We're also asking doctors to communicate with us, to see what our needs and wants are, so we can work united. There seems to be a disconnect because right now all we're being offered is supplements. Supplements are not going to cure us. We deserve to have a better quality of life.
Take my detox. That'll cure you. Maybe.
It's a shame that we're losing
It
this
doesn't turn off.
attorneys.
That dang spike
There's
protein.
some statutes of limitations. There's many attorneys that won't take on the cases, or they
Does
don't know
not
how
turn
to take
off.
their case. We'll be glad to talk to them. We just need communication. I know the PrEP Act
Active
leaves us
dresses
immune
coming
big
from
pharma.
graves.
A lot of us have been wrongfully terminated.
Big Harma, take off
A
the
lot of
P.
us had to fill in our own VAERS.
Harm,
because our own
insert
facilities,
name.
either
Child.
doctors or hospitals, etc.,
Woman.
did not do this when we reported our injury. A lot of hospitals
Harm,
didn't.
harm
So we had to do it ourselves.
assist. You need someone to assist
Regardless,
in
a lot of us were
harming you.
discriminated from our
Find
jobs
a
and much
harm
more.
assist.
A lot of us
Get
are
it.
suffering. We've lost our jobs because of our medical expenses. We're losing our
Slave
houses, our
space. I want
cars.
a
A lot of us
vax
have lost our
so I can
insurance
be in my
and
slave
they
space
were
and not be able to fuck Pam.
facilities to try to get HBOT.
Bam.
IV,
Bam, bam.
chelation, what have you,
Bam,
depending
bam.
on what your needs are and if you need them. The expense to go to one of them is outrageous. And a lot of us have
I had to say, how they afford this stuff?
all of our savings because medications like this,
Savings? Exhausting them. That's what I don't
and
save.
that's not including the rest
What
of
do
our
you realize? One
supplements
car
and
crash.
medications that we have.
One medical bill.
A lot of us are losing
It's
everything we have.
why you think it's designed
We
that
are
way.
asking and pleading for help to bridge the gap and to be able to communicate, work on solutions.
Save your money.
Instead of talking about the past so much, we have to let that anchor go. We have to be able to move forward to help the people that are severely injured and more that are coming up injured.
Love the cleavage, though.
We're lost.
These thirsty Vax-injured women.
It's like living in the Matrix. All we're asking is for help. We need attorneys to stand up. We need doctors who are speaking out for us.
Enjoy that podcast. We're probably in it.
Realize that we need to be studied. We need
NPCs
more than
everywhere.
supplements. Supplements is not going to fix this. A lot of us are getting worse, and that's not right. It's basically no different from
Better
what our
or
government
worse?
has already
Open?
done to us and abandoned us. We don't deserve to be abandoned by anybody. And we speak out
Well, you
on
don't
many
deserve
different
to be.
platforms, and we've been to many
These
of them.
doctors are cold-hearted. They trust them.
We're not props. Everybody else is financially gaining from this than us. So we're
$200
strictly
billion from a
asking
$10 to
these
$20 billion
companies
investment by Bill Gates.
help
Off
us
your
get studied,
backs
help us find the
and your
funding to get
pain
this stuff done,
slaves.
and let's work on a solution, a real solution.
Real solution. We have them. What do you think we've been crying
Talking
out
about it, I have
to
friends
do
that are
for
worse.
you since 2020?
Taking phone calls and people don't even want to do this anymore. And think about death.
You want to do it? Look,
Or
I don't want to talk about vaccines.
We're not
People that
going
try to force
stand
it on me.
this. We will stand.
No, they don't want to talk about it. They all got family emergencies.
And we demand better. We demand justice. We deserve compensation. We deserve to be treated.
Man, justice. That's what we're fighting for.
with the gas
The truthers and the unvaxxed. And anti-vaxxers.
Communicate.
Yeah, we
have to
win.
work together. Get rid of the anchor.
Communicate.
Move forward.
Bitch,
Anyway.
what do you think we were trying to do for you? You have said enough. No, you haven't.
Who are suffering,
I played
crying out
your
for help,
other part
and hoping that someday.
It's
somebody
this
listens to
woman,
us, and I
bless
hope
her.
really quickly.
for her truth.
Anyway, have a good day. And as long as there's distractions, circumstances are going to be covered up, including the people that have been injured from this not so safe and effective.
Can't even say it like Voldemort.
Because you can't
You
say
know
that
it's bad for
discount,
you.
or they'll put you in community evaluation.
He who must not be named. Man, wasn't a good guy.
Our government has abandoned us. They made mandates. Some of us had no choice. And a lot of us
You
are
had
suffering
choice.
from chronic illness, disabilities, and
You're-
even death. There's a lot of things
Definitely
going on in the
have
world.
suffering and death.
There's a lot of us that have been fighting, speaking out, letting you know that we're suffering. We have been left the financial
Yeah, the brave
burdens
ones. No one is.
of all of our medical bills, gaslit by
Now they're like,
doctors.
oh, they're censoring.
We're not acknowledged.
2023, and we're like, yo,
The CICP,
Vax-injured bitches.
they
were
deny
censoring
98%
us
of the claims that are put in. We're not
Years
recognized
before they
being
censored your
isolated.
injuries. The
Affairs
fuck you
is
think we were
ridiculous.
doing for you? Now,
You can put in a
you
report.
do you, man.
All your information doesn't show
Join
up.
us.
Or they lose it.
Oh, we need people
You
who
report
won't
to the maker
clod out
that
when they
you
jog
have been
too far. No,
injured.
unreal.
So many things are going on.
I've been falling all
But
over
all
them
these
soccer
distractions,
fields.
It's not going to sweep us under the rug. It's not going to continue to hide us and to help future generations. We
It
deserve
will
to be
try to.
studied. We deserve to be acknowledged. And we
You
need
deserve to be, but
help from our
Well, they
elite doctors that are
don't.
speaking out, from our doctors that gaslight us,
they're dumb. I ask them
And from our
questions. That's why they hate me.
surgeon generals, governors, and our attorney generals. It is our responsibility to turn in a complaint to our attorney general and let them know that we are not being acknowledged, that our state is not doing anything to help us with grand juries, investigations,
The
and the list
state.
goes on. All of us that are need to continue speaking out.
Look at that Voldemort. They can't even say it before they get censored. You think it's
You can
good
put
for
in
you? Like you can't
Email.
criticize
You can go on
the
your
chase.
government list, see which
Oh, look who's
senator
behind it.
is in your
Oh, can't
district.
criticize it.
You can visit
Either,
them
like
in
the
their remote offices. You
chase.
can do an email. You can do a phone
Ah,
call.
juice.
You can request a Zoom. You need to put in a complaint to your governor of the state in which you live in. If you have a surgeon general in your state, you need to make sure you send a letter to him, call the office, him or her, and get a Zoom call, a meeting. Find out where they are. Is it a book signing? Is it whatever? Show up wherever they are. The senators, they're all out right now. They're all campaigning right now. So there's no reason to show up. Like, you know, one of them was at a coffee shop. So I showed up and I'm acknowledged. But anything that I do, this app takes it down because I'm in community violation. Why? It's because it's the truth. You know?
Yeah, probably.
I've been on the governor's roundtable in my state in regards to the,
So they're
along with
all,
the Surgeon General.
like I tell
I've
the
had
police,
personal
you're all
conversations with him and the
the
senators
same
in my
fingers
area.
are the same evil hand.
There's many of us that just are too sick or we give up. We can't give up. All these distractions, that's what they want. That's what they want. And
That's what they
for
want.
warp
Start
speed,
wars.
Mr. Trump,
Warp speed.
he needs to acknowledge this, what's going to be done and what's going to be done in the future. I know in the state of Florida, they have labeled this as a bio, I can't say it. And they also discourage continuing this. They know that it
Bioweapon,
causes
I'll say
chronic
it.
illness, disabilities, and death.
It's in their
They
patent.
also know,
Bioweapon.
you know,
DOD. DARPA.
myocarditis,
CIA.
pericarditis.
It's all in their patent. Do you
infertility,
read? What's the matter? Can't you read?
Neurological issues,
Pro-vax.
and much, much more. The list goes on. Consent.
You ain't
Was
even
there
pro-vax.
consent for that? No,
You
there
heard
wasn't
them, Lemon.
consent for that. I
Yo, they
remember
did it trying to
Harry
help
Hamilton.
others. That is
All
sinister.
that information that's in there now is because of people like us that are getting injured. And now that
Now they're
information
injured.
is in there.
Another information's in
All
there.
shots could have a side effect. Yes. but not as much as this one.
Side effect, 1,300 of them. Pfizer docs.
So why am I angry?
You can't, Voldemort can't even say
Because
it.
I'm tired
Think it's good.
of being ignored by the people who mandated this.
Ignored.
Not wanting to correct the situation and not wanting to address the situation. So I'm sorry. So when Trump gets up there, or any other, Kamala, any of them get up there, they need to address
I didn't vote for
this.
Trump or Kamala.
It needs to
Too
be
little
addressed.
bitch.
And we are no longer going to be swept under the table.
Change happens with
Absolutely
bullets.
not. We will continue to fight, unite globally. It's just not in the U.S. They have it worse over in the U.K. Those people are suffering. We have to do our part and do whatever it takes to get the acknowledgement. I will be holding spaces. I will be letting people know what I have done in my state, and hope that others will do it as well. Whether you only speak at the county commissioner's office, city commissioner's office, you get 3 minutes of time of air.
Every time I hear those words, it honestly
3 minutes is not a lot.
puts my brain to sleep. Commissioner,
But emails, phone
like
calls,
Pete
Zoom
Davidson.
calls, and showing up where they are.
Filibuster.
Especially if you wear a shirt.
I already have checked out
But
inside
it
my head.
addresses your attention.
Mega Mad, wear a shirt that
There's so much
says,
more that we need to do. So
ooh,
all
what
of
this guy says
distractions,
later in the podcast. Please.
whether it was purposely done or not, or what have you,
Yeah. Guys,
anyone that has injured needs to speak up.
Voldemort.
We have to do this.
He who was shot and must not be named.
I'm going to let you go. I'm in a rant today. And
Let me
I'm
go,
going
because
to,
you used too many words. Oh, it's a rant. That's what it's
do
for.
my next step that I need to do. And if it works, I'll be letting you know.
Next step. You don't even know it should be Masterpiece. First unofficial sponsor, Masterpiece Nano.
And there's no reason why.
Masterpiece by
Put
HCS.com.
something up, they want to immediately take it down.
You're gonna
Community
wanna find
violation.
a BitChute link.
It's not community violation.
I've taken it
They
myself
don't want you to know the
for
truth.
the last
That
3 to 4
happened.
months.
And
My
there's
blood went
more
from
of us
sticky
than they'll let
to
you
clean.
tell you on the
And I ain't
TV,
even vaxxed with that shit.
newspaper,
Bitch is
are
shedding.
government cowards. And they need to address this and do the right thing. So
Do
I
it right
hope you
then.
have a safe
Take
week.
Masterpiece.
And I hope that you will
And like
speak out.
7 more drugs and 3 treatments. 4
I
treatments.
can't imagine a child going through where I am, and I can't imagine any
Could be
of
5
you
treatments.
having any
Top of
family
7
members
drugs.
that
Have good blood again. EMP or MAC address. Have a good day.
Quick update in regarding my PET scan that I got last week. I got the results at the start of the week, and it turns out I got myocarditis. Myocarditis. It's taken over a year.
We didn't know that word before.
And a specialist in the UK,
Over a
specialist
year.
cardiologist in
That's
the UK,
long enough for it to
tell
spread.
me that it's myocarditis from the vaccine. I've seen
they
over
admit
about
now.
5 different cardiologists in Scotland. Not one of them, as soon as I say this is from the vaccine, not one of them want to acknowledge me. Well, there you have it. Myocarditis 1 year later after the vaccine. Been complaining about chest pain, complaining about heart issues, and what was I told?
Play soccer.
It's anxiety, PTSD, health anxiety, all in my fucking head. But now I've got confirmation that it wasn't. This is a message to all the health
You to the
professionals.
psych ward now,
We're gonna
since you
start
didn't
calling
fight for
the health
us.
Unprofessionals. If I had sat here and it just
Unprofessional.
accepted what you told me, I would never have got an answer and never understood what was going on with my heart here. I want people to realise it took me a year and it's taken me £27,000 to get an answer for my heart.
Unreal.
I want people to realise if you're going to your doctor and your doctor's telling you this is in your head, this is anxiety or whatnot, you know your body better than these fuckers. You know yourself better than this. This vaccine is doing more harm than good. 1 year they have left me with myocarditis. I think it's time for people to start questioning people. Start questioning the health professionals. It's time for you health professionals to realise you're doing more harm
Never
than
stopped questioning them.
I could have taken my own life because yous made me believe this was in my head. This narrative will change in the near future. Trust me when I say it. I want this message to get around the whole world and make yous realise it's time to start doing the right thing. You're killing people and making people think they're gone fucking crazy.
That has been so graciously given to you by other people because you're not crazy.
Just like with social media and done with all
Want
these
you
things
to
for a
be.
while. Until I can get better. Because
Please get this pain to guy some pussy.
In my life. And I don't
Or
know
mine
how,
off included if
I
you're
don't
still
know how
alive.
people are supposed to deal with it. Like, I think I finally just broke today, but I don't know what to do. Like, I hate my life so much right now, and the sad thing is that like I'm getting attacked from both sides so hard, and I'm just a dude. Like, I'm just a guy. I'm trying to just do the right thing. I just want to share my story, but I want to tell people what's going on, and then it's like you can't say anything now with the way things are, and like I just don't know what to do anymore. And I'm like, I've been so suicidal the past couple weeks, and like I've just been trying so hard to just get through this whole thing and just try to get better. And then like, I don't know, going to DC and seeing the people that are injured, and like I'm lucky that I'm probably gonna be okay physically, but I don't know emotionally anymore because, and you know, I have a lot of love and support and I appreciate that, but it's so hard to just be constantly berated by people all the time just for trying to share my story. And like, all I've tried to do this whole time is advocate for a conversation. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or tell you what not to do. I'm just saying, here's a data point that you can look at and factor into your decision, because I will tell you right now that like my life has completely changed, and I've lost friends, I've lost family members, I've lost all of these things just by going through this situation. And like I got vaccinated to try to do my part, and you know, I got injured, which sucks, and it's a rare thing, right? But it doesn't feel rare when it happens to you. But if I would have got COVID, and if I would have had all these same symptoms and dealt with this whole thing through COVID, I wouldn't be hated so much. Like, I don't know how the toxicity of people has become worse than the disease that we're fighting. Like, we've done such a shitty job as people of trying to remain human. It's so hard because people don't know what this is like until it happens to you. And I empathize with people that have had issues with COVID. I empathize with people that have had other issues throughout the pandemic or other things, right? But to be injured by this thing that's so toxic in society, where you can't even talk and you can't get support, you can't tell people, even like I had a hard time finding a therapist, because when you say vaccine injury, they're like, oh, you're crazy. And
that has been so graciously given to you by other people because you're not crazy.
What we're supposed to do as people, and I'm just sad at where we are right now. And like I said, I'm gonna take a break for a while, and so yeah, I just wanted to kind of post this. And like I said, I'm sorry that I can't continue to speak out for the people that do need it, but just please try to be like more kind and empathetic to people, because it's hard. No one wants to go through this stuff. I never wanted to be a part of this. I don't want to be a voice for this. And it's just sad what they do to people that try to speak out and tell their story, you know? So, yeah. Thank you guys for
try the
everything.
anti-vaxxers.
I'm not gonna like commit suicide or anything, but I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and just how much easier it would be just to not have to deal with all this stuff. And then it scares me because I don't want to think that
You're
way.
in pain.
I just want to get back to normal. I just want to be a positive.
Screw it, people think they're not.
I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to be injured. And
They're part of the problem.
I just hope people realize that the whole time, all I've been trying to do and trying to advocate for is just like, I just want the conversation to be had. And yesterday, someone just told me that I need to stop asking for money because
Welcome
it looks
to the
makes
White
me look like a
Warrior
peasant,
podcast.
or makes me look pitiful. I'm like, I've never asked for money. This isn't about money. This is about liability. That's
This
all
isn't
it is.
about
It's
money in this
liability.
podcast.
Who
It's
has the
about liability.
And when
Who
someone's
has the
making money off
liability
this whole
right now?
thing, there needs to be liability. Period. Because my life
200
is
billion
affected
to Bill Gates.
drastically, and I'm lucky,
10 to 20.
You know, out of the React 19 group, 6 people committed
Imagine
suicide
everyone
in the
else.
past month or so. Like, this is a real thing. There's no one to talk to. There's no one to go to, and then everything's...
We get to sell PPE
I'm trying to be
now
that
when we
voice.
don't need it.
And I was just driving to a doctor's
Real
appointment this
advice.
morning, and I just kind of broke down and pulled over, and then I don't want to have to go through emotion again, like I said, so I'm just making this video. But thank you guys for watching it, and I don't know if there is anything, like, I'm just so scared about losing our livelihood and losing our jobs, and I don't know if there's...
You're worried about losing your life.
Hopefully next time it'll be a better
Not
video.
your
but
job.
Yeah, thank you
That's
guys
why
for
they
everything. I
got
really
you,
appreciate
man.
it. And just please, like, try to be nicer to people that you
Help
don't
this
understand.
man.
So.
Be nicer. No amnesty, bitch.
Part 2. For all the vaccine injured, I want you to remember, our government has abandoned us. We are not getting financial support. We're left with burdens of our medical bills, also not being treated, gaslit by doctors.
Yes.
Some of us losing everything because we've used our entire savings to get medical treatment, have to pay out of pocket, large co-payments, and you think that
50% of America can't spend $500 comfortably.
It's going to help us. They've denied more claims than anything else. They paid out 2. And they have $5 million to pay out this year.
It'll become a thing.
So stop and think. All of us that are vaccine injured and have taken this not safe and effective biochemical. The government has no plans to help us in any way.
We're
You really
Menta,
think that we should
Latin for
stand
mind
for this?
control.
Seriously, you think
Yeah,
that
look
we
what they're
should
doing
stand for
with
this?
the vax.
Our government works for us, and our government is leaving us abandoned and alone.
We're Menta,
This is
mind control.
America, land of the free.
You mean government?
We
Yes.
pay their salaries, and this is what we get.
That's right.
We deserve more.
You pay their salaries.
Time
This is what we get,
to
slavery.
take a stand.
And the 5th form of slavery, woman. Digital.
There's things that we can do, but we all have to work together and make it happen. We're not going to stand for this anymore. We need medical treatment. We need justice, acknowledgement.
They call justice blame.
Oh, the list goes on. I have about had it, and I'm not taking it anymore. I'll be making a stand. I will be making a statement. If we can work together, we'll go a lot faster.
Strong woman.
There's always a plan that can be made. Believe me.
So he's like, Carlson, take my jacket. He steps out. He's like, I got to do this. We're like, what are you doing, sir? He's like, believe it. Just goes right down the alley, right up to the guy. Next thing you know, he's taking the guy's gun, dropped the guy with the punch, just leveled him. I mean, blink and you would have missed.
4 years old, I have had 3 heart attacks, a mini stroke, and I am now getting a pacemaker.
What's to blame?
The COVID vaccine, and that's when everything flipped upside down for me.
So is this Army memo an acknowledgement that your heart condition is the result of the COVID vaccine?
It 100% is.
Were you left behind by the
She's
Army
not standing
and
here. Look at those
National Guard?
boobs.
I was left behind and trampled.
Meet Carolina
All
Stanzik,
wars.
a specialist in the Army National Guard. She takes 27 pills every day after suffering her first heart attack while on active duty.
Did you have heart issues before you joined the military?
Not a single heart issue. I could run 10 miles at a time, play basketball, and now I have trouble just standing up.
What's to blame?
I mean, the only thing that would have changed was the COVID vaccine, and that's when everything flipped upside down for me.
Government records obtained by our investigative team confirm Stanzik has a serious heart condition, and her case may open the door to service members who believe they were harmed by the Defense Department's COVID vaccine mandate.
According to this Army memo, your debilitating heart condition can be caused by either COVID-19 infection or the COVID-19 vaccine. Have you ever tested positive for COVID-19?
I don't have a single positive test for COVID-19.
So is this Army memo an acknowledgement that your heart condition is the result of the COVID vaccine?
It 100% is an acknowledgement that it was a result of the vaccine.
How hard did you have to fight within the bureaucracy to get this memo?
It really was a 19-month grueling process.
Does the Defense Department have a special responsibility to you and others who believe they're COVID vaccine injured?
They're fully responsible. I was neglected, and the medical care that I needed to get was not happening, and so the damage was more by delaying the response.
Born in Lithuania, Carolina and her brother were adopted in 2003 by Lisa Stanzik. 2 decades later, in college, she enlisted, inspired to serve by her grandfather, a World War II veteran.
I always looked up to him. He was a great leader, great role model, and I wanted to go ahead and follow in his footsteps.
In early 2021, she received her first COVID shot.
Oh,
I
adorable
received
girl.
Moderna 1 and 2.
That used to sound like helium.
What was the reaction?
Adorable.
Cough, chest pain,
So
sinus
angry.
pressure. There was like a headache.
A month later, she received a second COVID shot. The reaction was intense.
I was experiencing severe neuropathic
everyone-
pain.
everyone says
felt
that.
like burning sensation throughout
my
my whole
next
body,
one.
and I was having chest pain, breathing
screwed
issues,
me.
and really high heart rate and dizziness. It felt like a
Jeez.
balloon was blowing up in my
This
chest.
Military records independently reviewed by our team confirm a
I force it
debilitating
on the
heart
military. How about that
condition known as
video?
postural orthostatic
Of them
tachycardia
rushing that guy's
syndrome,
room.
or POTS.
It's
6
where your
people
heart and your
deep.
blood pressure don't work in accordance with each other.
What does it
Forcing
mean
him to the
day-to-day?
ground. 5 people holding
Day
him
to day, you
down
don't
on
know
one
what's gonna
injection.
happen, right? And so I will wake up, my heart rate will hit the 180s, 190s.
On social media, Stanzik documented her
190s, people
struggle to
going
get
over
an
200.
accurate diagnosis and timely medical
Not
help.
normal.
I don't know if I sound good or not. I feel like I can't breathe.
In April 2022, Stanzik was released from active duty and told us she lost her health insurance
I said,
and about
wait 2 years,
$3,300
man.
in monthly income.
I would say it's a culture of silence, but also at the same time,
Yeah,
there's a
like,
fear
no,
of
never.
retaliation from the military and the government.
Poison.
Having served for 21 years
Bioweapon
myself,
confirmed, bitch.
and having in a role most of that time as an officer, it's absolutely abhorrent to me that we would treat any young service member this way.
Jeremy Sorensen served in the
Blood
Air
war.
National Guard as an F-16
This
and
guy's pissed.
F-10 pilot, and now advocates for service members through usjag.org.
Wait a second, because I want to understand something. So you've got a 24-year-old who followed orders, got the COVID vaccine, believes she's COVID vaccine injured, and that's not in the line of duty?
Well, by law, it's in the line of duty, but the Army and the National Guard abandoned Carolina Stanzik for 19 months.
Sorensen says the Army and National Guard were obligated to retain Stanzik until she was better and returned to duty, or she would go through a disability evaluation.
Her case is representative of hundreds, possibly thousands
They evaluate
of other
when you hide
vaccine
genocide.
injury cases, but moreover,
So they probably gave her nothing.
Systemic problem.
Terminated her.
The Department of Defense abandoning injured service members. Vaccine injuries are also very, very political, and the leadership.
DoD knows the bioweapon is written in their patents.
Did not
Cover
want
it
to
up
address that.
like the
Still
FDA
does not want
nurses.
to address that. Maybe we hurt our own.
Sweep it under
Are you saying the U.S.
the
Defense
mat.
Department is not taking care of its people?
100%.
No longer on active duty, Stanczyk faced more than $70,000 of medical debt.
Have you been homeless?
About 3 weeks, I was living out of my car, driving up and down the coast, trying to get medical care.
When Stanczyk eventually settled in Florida, things got
Digital
worse.
slaves.
What
It's the
happened
fifth.
here in September
They're
of
currently
2020?
working
I was
on.
going through a really severe
Look at her
flare-up
feet,
where my
man.
heart and my
Why did
blood
they have to
pressure
ruin
was
this
all
woman's
over the place.
vagina?
I literally just black out, didn't know what happened, and woke up at the bottom of the stairs.
You could have killed yourself.
Right, exactly.
Vagina
That's what I
pet. Look
fear.
at that. It
I
don't
just want to read
quit.
you some text messages that you've shared with
And now
us.
it does.
I've said it before, but if I was alone, I'd 1,000% consider a permanent exit. Did you seriously consider suicide?
I did. I talked about it with my cardiologist, and I just told her, like, I'm ready for this to just be done.
Listen to good
I
Charlotte.
don't know how much longer I can take this.
I can see the tears in your eyes.
Just take some time.
I've been through multiple therapists, and I was denied mental health care because they said until the stuff
Her
with the military
beautiful
gets
eyes.
resolved,
I am so
like, we can't help you.
The text
effing
hit Sorensen
pissed.
hard.
The issue of suicide, which the Defense Department likes to tout that they're doing something about, and then they throw service members into the position that Carolina Stanczyk is in.
Did they throw Carolina Stanczyk away?
They did. She was discarded as trash.
Finally, in October 2023, the Army Human Resources
Discarded.
Command concluded Stanczyk's heart
Out of,
injury was
working out,
considered
now
in line of
she's
duty by the
Getting
preponderance of
20%
evidence.
The
fatter
memo states
arms.
research has confirmed a link between COVID-19 infection and a debilitating heart condition called POTS. POTS was also linked to a lesser degree to COVID-19 vaccination.
I jumped to the part where it talks about vaccine, and I was like, that is exactly right.
You read that section and you said, that's me.
That is me.
Shoot 'em.
I'm vaccine injured.
Exactly.
And how important is that service connection?
Service
What
connection
do you
gets you
think
benefits when
happened?
you get out of the military. And so without that, I would
75
not
to
get
6.
any benefits for these conditions.
Does this Army memo open the door to recognizing
freedom.
other service members who believe they are
That
COVID
easy.
vaccine injured?
I really am
gonna
hopeful that
probably
this will
happen again.
provide them the help and care they need.
I can't understand, I can't explain
Well, we can
any
handle it
military
civilly.
officer could mistreat
Nuremberg
our
too,
service
baby.
members like has happened to
Hanging.
Stanczyk. It hurts me deeply because it takes away my faith
Guillotines
in
in
our
the
own
streets.
Defense Department, our own government, which
Defense Department. They'll
I
never
swore
hire me
to-
if they do.
to serve.
Slap a bitch daily.
And I would willingly do that again. But I'll tell you what,
Correct something.
I wouldn't recommend anybody else do it.
That's a very hard thing to say. I know that. That's, yeah. Just take a minute.
When our team recently interviewed Stanczyk, she faced another medical crisis.
We are sitting down just days before you're having major heart surgery.
I'm getting a pacemaker in 2 days.
How does it happen at 24?
It's like, that's not what I expected for myself.
24.
I thought I was going to be doing marathons, and I'm literally sitting here like,
She was
not allowed to drive.
You know, based on interviews you've given
24-year-old.
previously, one
You know, her brain
criticism
isn't even
is that you're an
matured yet.
anti-vaxxer. Another criticism
One more
is that
year.
you're doing this story because you're trying to push an anti-vaccine
A divorce court.
agenda.
That is not the case. My story,
Everyone
my health
divorced is less
my
than
own.
25 years
I've
old
had to live
nearly.
these traumas, and so I would never want
God,
to ever see someone go
system.
through the same thing as me.
For
Debt,
service members
slavery.
who believe they've been COVID vaccine injured, what's the cost of coming forward?
Cost coming forward for
Cost
those
coming
who've
forward,
been
please tell me.
vaccine
I'm worried.
Injured is probably greater than
I'm
other
miserable.
injuries
Less worried.
because of the political environment and the stigma
Bullshit,
around
bitch.
not following the order to get a vaccine or for speaking up against the vaccine itself after getting it.
What was the cost of following orders?
I mean, it pretty much cost my whole life, and obviously I'm not the same person.
It's a sacred military pledge.
Probably in the top
to leave
1%.
no one behind.
If you know me.
Were you left behind by the Army and the National
I don't
Guard?
like dumb shit.
I was left behind and trampled.
And that thing quit.
They watched it, they came back,
Trampled.
walked all over me, and then left again.
That's a very serious charge.
That's sad. They're walking all over 24-year-olds that need 1 year left to mature their brain. An Army spokesman disputed the circumstances surrounding Stancic's release from active duty, stating she made a, quote, publicly available statement that she was aware she could remain on active duty for medical care. The spokesman said documentation that Stancic was counseled on being located. Stancic means that she was ordered to be released from active duty in 2022 and never counseled or informed of her options. The Army spokesman also said COVID vaccine injured is a non-specific term and cannot be medically diagnosed, but Aaron does not respond to our questions. Sad Catherine Harridge.
Scare. What surprised me the most is the medical community has abandoned the patients. They failed to treat patients who are acutely sick with COVID-19, let them become hospitalized and isolated, and sadly some died. And the same doctors and healthcare providers that didn't treat patients, they turned around and pushed these experimental vaccines to the point where we now have had record injuries, disabilities, and deaths after the vaccine. So it's really the behavior of the health community that surprised me the most. So few doctors were with me and other doctors in my circles. We are always trying to help our patients to fulfill our Hippocratic oaths, above all, do no harm. And the doctors walked away from the Hippocratic oath.
A lot of these doctors feel such a concern for their jobs and their career. Why is it that way?
Yeah, the hospital administrations took really massive amounts of federal dollars to push the vaccines. And the hospital administrations basically, forced the vaccines on the workers. They assumed the vaccines were going to be safe and effective. And it turns out the vaccines were neither safe nor effective. A few doctors, like the ones interviewed, they saw this ahead of time and said, listen, they're not going to take it. I never took the vaccine. It was never a consideration. It was never safe enough for me to take. And there must be many more doctors in my shoes. So those forced into it now have great regret. And I get calls from doctors who have medical problems. I just took one before I came on the show.
No unvaxxed regret it.
Really regrets it. In 2022, Houston Methodist dropped all the vaccine mandates. They cared about it so much in 2021, Gene. How come they dropped it in 2022?
Doctors that regret it.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
Rich.
It's time now for Uncancelled. And this is where Britain's top commentators speak out on controversial issues without the fear of the cancel culture sweeping the rest of the media. Now, we've been shining a light on the tragic injuries and deaths caused by COVID vaccines for some time now, including the story of Alex Mitchell, who horrifically lost a leg after developing blood clots following the AstraZeneca jab last year. When we brought his plight to a national television audience 7 weeks ago, Alex was fighting hard to secure compensation for his life-changing injury, but feared it would be years before his case was even heard. But I'm delighted to reveal that following his appearance, the government has finally stumped up £120,000 for Alex through its vaccine damage payment scheme. He's believed to be the first living survivor of his specific COVID vaccine-induced condition to be
call it a scheme.
This follows Vicky Spitt, the widow of Cumbrian musician Zion Spitt, who died after taking the AstraZeneca vaccine in May 2021, becoming the first person to receive a payout following high-profile appearances on Mark Stein's brilliant GB News show. She too received $120,000.
So let's say 10 bitches.
Alex, so look, you were a fit and healthy scaffolder before losing your leg because of the jab. You thought you were simply doing the right thing, just as the government had asked. Does this payment score a line under your terrible ordeal, or how do we keep the momentum going for those vaccine victims whose stories haven't yet been shared?
If I'm honest, I believe that the the payment is just, it's the fact that they've admitted causation and probability. You know, yeah, £120,000 is going to take some pressure off my wife, because obviously I've got a mortgage that's not going to go away, and I've got other debts because over the last year, it took me 10 months to get any benefits. So the money will take off my wife, but it won't make my life massively different.
No.
You know, I think it's only due that we should receive some sort of a support, and the amount would be an insult under any circumstances for the loss of a life or the loss of a limb. And that's the bit that, for me, more than anything, it's probability and causation. You know, it's acknowledgement that this is real. It's acknowledgement that we didn't make it up. It's acknowledgement that the government has finally accepted that there is a problem with these AstraZeneca, well, particularly the AstraZeneca vaccine.
Yeah.
Finally.
But for a long time, Alex, you were ignored.
Yes, for over a year. I'm not the only one. I think that's what's very common, is every single one of us, Vicky included, and all the other bereaved families have been ignored, gaslighted, and basically left to rot. So the fact that they've actually done something is an incredible bonus for us all. The acknowledgement that makes a massive difference to me personally. You know, it's a big thing. The money, it's secondary. It's not going to change my life. Nothing's going to give me my leg back.
No, I know,
Money
and it's
can't buy
unimaginable what you've been through, but I do also think your treatment over the past year and the treatment of many vaccine damage victims has been appalling, because you have been ignored, you have been gaslit. Do you think the tide is turning, Alex, though? Is there more acknowledgement for you coming?
I hope so. I feel that there is. We now know that there's at least 6 payments being made out. Okay. That's fantastic news. What I do have an thought was, you know, the people that lost a loved one.
Paying out means they're
I
guilty.
do believe that they should be sorted first. I really do, because it doesn't make me feel any better knowing that there's families in a worse situation than myself financially, because they've lost a loved one, and that impacts on them far more than it impacts on me. And I struggle with that one. Why not pay the bereaved out first? I'm not saying, you know, you could have left me another year. I couldn't afford another year, I'm not going to lie. But I think that they should have sorted the bereaved people first.
Well, I absolutely agree, but I just don't think any of you should have been waiting for a year. It is utterly, utterly outrageous. And Alex, I don't know about you, but I feel so angry that your stories have been ignored by most of the rest of the media.
Yeah, I think that the trauma of that for us all is far worse in some cases of what we've been through. And I know that may sound ridiculous that I've lost a leg, that's a horrific thing. But the fact that, you know, you were ignored, you were denied, no one wanted to listen to you. It's a very lonely, dark place to be for some people. And we have lost people through this. And I suppose that, for me, more than anything, is that it gives us hope.
Yes, because now you can say categorically to the world, to anyone who asks, I lost my leg as a direct result of the AstraZeneca jab, and the government have acknowledged that and paid up. So psychologically, that must help at least a little.
It's 99% effective at killing.
Massively, to be honest with you, Dan, it's a massive boost for us, because we've been screaming for some of us over a year. It's very demoralising and it put people down, but now we've got the hope that we can move forward. There is a road for us.
And what is that road, Alex? What is that road? Where do you want to take this next?
Well, the next stage is obviously there's a legal civil action for a class action for the Vax. That's obviously in the process.
Well, Nuremberg trials too.
Clearly for us, the fact that causation and probability has been admitted by the government and one department, how can they deny it when there's a class action for the exact same situation? So how long that takes, because we know that legal wheels go very slow, but it gives us massive hope and inspiration that there is an end to some of this.
Yeah.
Some of us will never end. Where I go from here, I think I generally will spend the rest of my life fighting causes like this because it's horrific. We now know that there's over 2,500 claims for vaccine damage over the last 12 years. Let's sort these people out.
Damage. There's a $3 billion worldwide.
Alex Mitchell, we're going to be with you on this, so we will keep in touch and we will keep fighting for you and folk in your position. By the way, AstraZeneca, they didn't comment at all today on this. The government spokesperson did. They said we are working through claims made by the vaccine
3% of those will
schemes
die.
as quickly as possible with a team of caseworkers.
According to the Pfizer UA trials, 1,223 dead
all vaccines have
out of 42,086. They're numbers.
Safety, effectiveness, and quality.
Get it?
Time now to reveal today's greatest Britain Union jackass.
And they approved it. COVID vaccine injuries, a crisis hidden in plain sight. Donations
Vaccine
needed.
Injury Summit in Grand Oaks Manor in Wearsdale, Florida. I'm here with Deirdre, and Deirdre is going to tell us about her story of being vaccine injured. Deirdre, tell us what happened to you.
Sure. My life changed on December 5th of 2021. That is when I guess everything took effect. I woke up that morning with the left side of my face like tingling and asleep and couldn't smile, and then it snowballed from there. Basically just I have
Snowball, sounds
left
familiar.
side weakness,
All those
seizures,
symptoms.
tremors, spasms, just all kinds of things now.
Bet you she got a droopy lip.
COVID Vaccine Injury Summit, and she's here to share her story about her vaccine injury. Lindsay, why don't you tell us what happened to you?
Hi, I'm Lindsay Briones. August 27th, 2021, I took one Pfizer vaccine. Within 6 hours of the vaccine, I was in the emergency room in SVT and an allergic reaction. Within a 3-month span from there, I went into ventricular tachycardia, which causes sudden cardiac arrest. And I have been in SVT every day for the last 2 years. I have seen electrophysiologist, hematologist, pulmonologist, because now I'm having breathing issues. My heart rate goes up to 205 beats per minute.
For the cure, bitch.
It's exhausting. I want help, and we need more people that have cardiac issues or any issues for that matter to please come out and share your stories.
You need more help than Papa Roach.
What happened to you with your Pfizer vaccine?
Okay, and the first time, I had the first shot in
It probably ruined it.
January 2nd, 2001.
Spike protein.
And I had the first reaction. They put me ectopinch
Sound like my stepmom.
for open my lumps.
Ectopinch. She meant lungs, not lumps.
They need to know is the vaccine
double down.
or whatever their condition, whatever is. You not die for COVID, you die for vaccine. Put it like that. It's the real.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your story.
So real.
The risks, but as the vaccine rollout now ramps up through the booster phase, there are a rare few who suffer serious side effects. Now the federal government is offering compensation for anyone who becomes seriously ill after having their COVID shot.
It's been a long road to recovery for Matty John.
It's a really uncomfortable and quite a frightening experience.
He felt like he was having a heart attack 2 days after getting the Pfizer vaccine.
I just got this sharp pain that I've never experienced before in the centre of my chest.
Diagnosed with severe pericarditis, he was off work for 10 weeks.
You're constantly worrying, I suppose, that
I never used to know that word.
I suppose we're talking about your heart.
Matty's not alone. It's estimated 79,000 people have suffered adverse reactions to vaccines.
Underestimation.
Now the government's offering compensation. Claims under $20,000 will need evidence.
Claiming
from
guilt,
the doctor.
offering compensation,
Claims
you
over
know it fucks you up.
$20,000 assessed by a team of legal experts. The highest
Yeah,
figure
fuck you out
reserved
of it.
for only the most serious of cases.
I think it could cost the government a lot of money.
The maximum Pfizer pays for a death is $5 million. That's less than one. Less than $750,000.
It can resulted in you being out of pocket. You might have to see a cardiologist, you might need procedures. So it is definitely appropriate that there is a vaccination scheme there to compensate those people.
But like all schemes, there are limitations. To make a claim, you must spend at least one night in hospital. And that's a clause that makes Matty John ineligible. He was admitted to hospital twice, but never stayed the night.
It is a little bit frustrating and out of pocket a fair bit, but saying that too, it is what it is, and that's life.
The scheme is now open. Nick Hose, 7 News.
Under Vladimir Lenin and Joseph Stalin, the Soviet Union simply shot people who posed a problem. But in its later years, the Communist Party preferred to use slightly softer methods. And that's when party leaders discovered the value of psychiatry. If you spoke up too loudly against the government, if you advocated freedom of religion or democratic elections or free market economics,
they try to do to me.
Wouldn't just imprison or censor or attack or shoot you. Instead, they would have you declared insane. The Soviet Union had an entire made-up mental illness they called sluggish schizophrenia. Basically, you might not be showing any external signs of schizophrenia, but they were coming slowly. Soviet authorities would slap this label on
That's out your nurse, mentally ill.
To institutionalize or discredit them.
Even if you want to charge her
in
phone.
Communist Russia, so it is
psych warded for calling her a
if
bitch.
big tech, big media, and big government get their way, they'll just claim that people hurt by the COVID-19 bioweapon shots are simply crazy or mentally ill. Deanna Lorraine joins us to discuss this. So, if I have
They call me crazy and mentally ill.
or severe
What do they have to say about it?
Or deadly blood clot,
I don't have neurological problems. Unvaxxed.
Amputated. I'm just crazy. It's all in my head.
Right. I mean, how would you like to be perfectly healthy, going to get this vaccine, and then coming down with myocarditis or Bell's palsy or debilitating neurological symptoms, and a doctor
Bieber droopy face.
you're crazy, it's made up, it's psychosomatic.
You vaxxed his
That's
audience.
the next wave of this. They're calling this FND, which is functional neurological disorders. Another term for functional, interchangeable for that, is psychosomatic or psychogenic, which means
Yeah, like they call
it's all in
pissed
your head,
off from natural tyranny, bipolar,
unbelievable that they're creating
poverty.
this term and this label for basically anyone who wants to come forward with debilitating neurological.
Oh, they'll make it up on you for anything.
And it's funny, this is
They
in
want to kill you.
published, medical journals. You can read these articles now that they're talking about this FNG. And there's funny, this one in the British, the American Medical Journal, they're talking about how just as we are starting to get larger percentage of people vaccinated, oh no, there's people complaining about adverse side effects from the vaccine. What are we going to do? We're going to label it FND or FNG. And what's interesting about this, because of course it's threatening their health, they're saying that people who are coming down with these debilitating side effects, they're making it up, and they're saying the highest prevalence is in YouTube videos and in social media videos. There's a very high prevalence of FND, a very high prevalence. They're even claiming that those videos you've seen of people with Bell's palsy or shaking, tremors and everything, they're saying that it's fake, that it's made up, it's all in their head. It's unbelievable. I'm just going to read you what
All
they're
in
saying.
their head.
FND may
Send them to the
present
psych ward if they don't
themselves
believe
with a
it's
variety of symptoms,
your vaccine injury. It's all in your head.
movement disorders, sensory symptoms, persistent dizziness,
Now,
and speech
you understand
disorders.
what the psych wards mean.
Those are some of the most common
You should
side effects
apologize to
of
your
the
psych
vaccine.
warded,
And now they're gonna
innocent
sweep it all under the rug and
friends.
claim that is just psychosomatic.
Now the whole world
Are they going to take these? Is it their plan to take these?
is getting psych warded.
Medicating them or have them institutionalized?
Forced injecting, forced medicating. It happened inside of him. I've been.
What a great way to censor them. What a great way to
Dumb
keep them quiet,
fucking
I guess.
reasons.
Right, what a great way to keep them
Keep 'em quiet, I
And
guess.
In
I
our
think.
view, FND following COVID vaccine will not be a rare phenomenon.
You didn't
It will be
save
widely
us.
covered by the media.
Save
So we
your
can stay tuned
world
for the
from
next
being
wave of
psych
media
warded now,
propaganda and
bitch.
gaslighting gaslighting, calling any of these people that are complaining about neurological effects, myocarditis, etc. Oh,
You ain't
it's
crazy.
FND. Don't worry, it's just FND. It's not real. It's
FND, don't worry, they're just crazy.
And
it's not genocide, it's all in their head.
Especially, it's funny that they're pointing especially to all those YouTube videos, on social media, those viral videos that you're seeing. Oh, it's just people with FND. And it's interesting because the World Health Organization, the WHO, they recently ranked vaccine hesitancy as one of the top 10 global threats to health.
Don't take
vaccine
it anymore.
hesitancy is. And so they're saying
Lined
that
up
they
like
need to
this
crack
dude
down
on that
even
bed.
harder on social media. Anyone who has
All you
an
did was deny a COVID test.
about that, they're going to start labeling that
Said
as
you
hate speech
fucked
or
in the
violence
head.
or misinformation and block that from social media even further. And then it's saying that we need to talk to the medical community and make sure that the medical community and the media is even more vocal about informing the general public about FND and making sure everyone knows about FND so that they know that when you hear an adverse side effect, it's all in people's heads.
Well,
That's it.
they're going to
That's
be coming hot and heavy straight after this platform because we give real people a voice. And those real people are people whose
I'll
lives
give
have
you a
been
real people a voice.
destroyed as a result
Welcome
of these shots being falsely
to the Light
reported
Warrior
as safe
podcast.
vaccines.
All you should fucking need.
The CDC's own vaccine
You might be in the Matrix, bitch. You saw that episode.
in just 11 months that is approaching
Fucking woman flipping her phone, glitching.
11 months caused by one shot. 3 times more than every
Stuck in
single
place.
previous vaccine rolled out combined. But that's all in our heads.
Read
It's all in your
Revelations.
head. You're just crazy, Stu.
Yeah.
If you have Bell's palsy in your face or neurological symptoms, you're on the floor trembling, you're just crazy.
Yeah.
You need to take a crazy pill.
You're just crazy. The word they used to hide the truth. And your pain, too.
That has been so graciously given to you by other people because you're not crazy.
Thank you, God bless you. And you, Stu.
No matter what position in society they're at, there's still shock that you can't sue for a vaccine injury. Yeah. They're still shocked. Even doctors.
Still can't sue? No, this is a window.
Don't know there's a special court, the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program,
Ooh,
that you have
soon.
to go through for this.
Vaccinated,
So when
injured, watching.
When the COVID vaccine was rolled out,
Get rich.
aggressively,
You're welcome.
very fast, we said, how is this going to look? And in 2020, Reuters was already reporting this.
You're watching.
COVID-19
Still not
direct
enough.
highlights U.S. black hole compensation fund for pandemic vaccine injuries. So
They
for
didn't
the
give a
rest
shit
of the
about
vaccines that
injury
aren't COVID,
payments.
we have this National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. For the COVID vaccine, because it's under emergency use authorization, it was rushed through for a pandemic emergency, you have the Countermeasures Injury Compensation Program. So this is a whole special thing, and it has a whole different special set of rules. So let's really set this story up, let's look at, this is the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget. It's a nonprofit organization. They've tracked government spending for COVID the entire time. There's basically $11 trillion that have been spent, according to this organization. $11 trillion, it's 12 zeros, has been spent on the COVID.
Wow, I was right. Again, wow.
Damn. All the amounts
Merging.
that's what we added up to.
Look at this. Depressing. 111 still following me.
This is the biggest number that should shock everybody. Zero paid out. Zero paid out.
Vaccinated millions of people before Christmas this year. It's just unheard of in the history of public health, this accomplishment. These guys have already written themselves in the history books with their
accomplishment, bitch.
raced it right through the FDA and CDC without even blinking about it. Didn't matter, it killed animals in animal trials. And now, good for us, millions of you are going to be forced to get it. And now we expect that guy is going to do the science, and they all say,
Go hard, bitch.
Say, well, we don't really trust those numbers. We don't see any red flags with 30,000 people reported dying there. They're not doing the science. I've said it time and time again. This is literally like a murder
Bitch,
case.
you realize I'm
The murderer
Stacy
is
yet.
the one doing all of your forensics. You know, that's interesting.
Notice how
I
it
didn't
matches
find it nice
up to
anyway.
everything.
Oh, I suppose we could have run it from
musical
but we knew that
genius.
it wasn't the right person anyway. I mean, this is what's going on. And it's,
God is good to me.
So clearly put.
I say that one. Praise him. Praise his name, Jesus.
The judge and arbiter of whether it hurt me?
Sing
This is insane.
psalm to the
We got
Lord.
some work to do here in the United States of America.
Make sure to include Christianity in my podcasts. I do it correctly. I suggest you do, too.
They were rolling this thing out to every adult at that time in the country, and that program was funded to $400,000 if you knew that.
Good show. Dude tells it how it is.
Can you? I don't know what will. This would not be the first time, if it happened, that a vaccine that looked good in initial safety actually made people worse. There was the history of the respiratory syncytial virus vaccine in children, which paradoxically made the children worse. One of the HIV vaccines that we tested several years ago actually made individuals more likely to get infected.
Getting a lot of play.
Yeah, I ain't good.
That there are thousands
American
of people
Fauci.
who say they're still suffering side effects
Just flip-flopped.
they believe from the vaccine.
Tell your
and that
people
those have been ignored. Now, one of them
I
is
believe.
nurse practitioner Sean Markovich. He says he got his first dose in 2020, had side effects.
Oh, it's real.
Just standing up
They're
set his
all
heart racing, stinging pain in his eyes, mouth, groin.
filming
Those have gotten a
videos
little
from
bit better, but he still
hospitals.
has what they call tinnitus. That's a ringing in the ears. We know
There's a
that
ring in it,
vaccines can
not-
have unintended consequences, aka side effects.
hair
But
in my ear,
nobody's
it's
really
all
talking about it because they're too
same.
afraid of blame and they just want it to go away.
Afraid of
But the
blame.
problem is people like Sean
Read Mark
and
Twain.
me and millions of others who still
be
have
like
weird
everyone
stuff
else.
with their blood work and their lives and their feelings, physically, are not going away. Sean Markovich joins us now. Sean, why do you believe it's the vaccine, and what has happened when you've tried to get clinical analysis of it or answers?
Why do I believe this? It's not a belief.
It's the patents, bitch.
And as soon as I was injured, 15, 20 minutes of my first dose,
It's the Vegas reports.
I had
It's the Pfizer docs.
up and down my injected
Because of
arm.
Baorla, like, telling you, 2 vax and a booster don't stop shit.
Neurologist. He ran some tests. He's like, well, this is all new. We don't know much about it, but the hospital is going to mandate it.
Glad about your decision. Yeah.
And everything in my medical mind and
Fix your blood, bitch.
bones was telling me no. If you have a reaction after something, don't do it again.
I know how. You should follow my podcast,
And
bitch.
then 3 weeks rolled around, I got a second dose, and after that, everything blew up.
I didn't post how to EMP your body so you don't have a Mako coming from your fucking grave.
To a complete downward spiral of health. I had a myriad of symptoms.
Have you gotten any clarity from doctors or from the drug manufacturer putting out any information about what could happen as a side effect?
No,
You don't come back like Thriller, you realize that shit.
Who worked on vaccine research.
They got a Mac code in their graves.
There would be
Have some weapons, bitch. Oh,
I will have there will be
Message
medical people ready to help me. There must be interest to find out what happened or what went wrong with me. I reached out to my political representatives. I reached out to the NIH.
political, they're fake as the fake news.
FDA. I got
CDC,
no
FDA,
answers.
they're
No one
Nazis.
wanted to touch
The
it.
Jew kind, the worst kind.
I got token responses back.
Yo,
No response.
Jews' lives went up by 1 million during World War II.
What have you found
We're
out?
supposed to be genocided by 6 million Jews. Their lives went up by 1
In
year.
the early days when I couldn't get answers,
The Germans
here at
went
home, I
down.
sent my blood over to
Million
Germany,
more Jews
and I had help with
during World War II.
German scientists. They were more interested in
German
helping
scientists.
people here in my own country.
The Germans tried to stop the Rothschilds' banks
Antibodies. Some scientists believe
from enslaving and murdering all of you.
every time I stand
The
by
World War II.
So some of my autoantibodies look similar to
I ain't a
people with
Nazi.
long COVID, and I never
I'm a
had
sympathizer for genocide only.
through immunological studies of my blood. They could not find any viral antibodies.
I think there's really no incentive to get out in front of this. I mean, nobody's going to get patted on the back for saying, yeah, Sean's right. There's side effects on some of the vaccines or all of the vaccines that we should be talking about and figuring out how to treat, and there is long COVID.
Look at this dude trying so hard to save face, Cuomo.
Right, and we're caught in the crosshairs of the
He got hit with it, like the other person said. Crying with the guy.
Colleagues would,
Yo, you don't give a shit till it hits your ass
finally. Help me, and in fact, they're the ones who turned around, dismissed, denied, and tried to censor and bury me.
You think?
They're afraid that by showing my face, I'll drive vaccine hesitancy. But what they don't realize, and what I have come to realize, is that the censorship and the hiding of it is actually fueling vaccine hesitancy. If the government had just said, hey, these are novel vaccines, we don't, there will be reactions, let's just have a program in place to deal with them, set up the fund to obligate the manufacturers to provide help or research, I think the citizens would have appreciated that. But instead what happened is they just suppressed me, and that also shocked me. When I tried to reach out online, Facebook, Instagram, they would tag my messages as if I'm misinformation.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm just a desperate person that something bad happened to, and I'm reaching out and pleading for help.
Well, let me tell you something. Sean, I can't help you because I'm no clinician. I'm sick myself, but
he's
I'm
sick
working
himself.
With people who are working on this.
You got vax, bitch.
We're in touch right after the show, and I'll help.
Now you want ivermectin?
I'll hook you up
You
with my
fucking
clinicians.
bitch.
Maybe you can share different protocols and things that may
Fuck
help. But
you,
I will never
Cuomo.
stop reporting on this. And all I'm
Take some
doing is
ivermectin.
beating the drum of you need to have a 9/11
That you demonize with Don
figure out
Lemon.
what worked and what didn't, and what
It ain't horse-based. It's called
not over. So not only are we not
Stromectol.
and there will be one.
That's the human version.
People, millions of people who still have problems
you,
from the last one. Sean, thank you very much for sharing your story.
Enjoy your vaccine illness.
Guess what? Chris Cuomo is now making the headlines because
Homo.
he got
I'm gonna call him that
vaccinated.
now. Homo. Chris
Think about this. In a world of threats,
Cuomo.
tyrants,
I love it.
terror, you know what our biggest
That's what he
enemy
said.
is in America? Our fellow
You
Americans.
bitches lapped it up.
This is before he got
Like a
vaccinated.
dog drinking piss.
This is before.
Which Americans?
His brother. This is before.
Think about this. In a world of threats and tyrants, terror, you know what our biggest enemy is in America? Our fellow Americans.
It ain't us.
The pandemic is dispositive proof of that.
Thank the Lord for the Patriots.
The number of new COVID cases going down.
70 million. By
Deaths.
the way, I'm one of them.
Did you know that deaths
Assholes.
this year already surpassed 2020's? 352,000. Now we're higher than that. And we have vaccines. How can we be dying more after we have what keeps you from dying?
Good question. Good question, Chris.
Good question.
We have what can save us before too many are still in the anti-vax camp. Digesting misinformation.
Look at him smiling.
Literally making themselves sick.
Still good, yo. Still good. I said wait. It's too good now. I said wait. I'm unvaxxed and proud. No one regrets being unvaxxed, bitch.
Come on. He can't feel
You have
anyone else's
Marcos,
pain or
bitch.
emphasize with their
You gotta
problems.
EMP
He is
him
not
out
well,
now.
but he is not harmless.
Fix your
Kurt.
blood, bitch.
His words have impact on everybody. So that's what he used to say. Yeah.
Ask me.
Well, that's what he used to say. Hey, Cuomo reveals COVID vaccine injury. Chris
Cuomo.
Cuomo, former CNN host,
Cuomo?
he is suffering from a health
You
condition.
mean Cuomo?
COVID-19 vaccine. This admission has ignited a debate on vaccine safety, with millions reportedly experiencing similar vaccine-related injuries. Cuomo's disclosure has sparked a range of reactions, from empathy to criticism, highlighting the ongoing debate over the efficacy and potential side effects of the COVID-19 vaccine.
You realize there's shit. We told you all along, bitch.
Potentially causes a range. So by the way, we follow what the CDC and the FDA say, and Chris Cuomo's nuts because they're super safe and effective, the vaccine, and they will keep
Like
you
Trump,
from
still
illness.
supporting him.
Here's what he has to say
Team
now.
incoming.
Going away. Sean Markovich joins us now. Sean, why do you believe it's the vaccine, and what has happened when you've tried to get clinical analysis of it or answers?
So he brought this guy on, who was highlighted in the New York Times article about being vaccine injured, and now Chris Cuomo's interviewing him, and he's not. I guess this guy, he's not your enemy. Your neighbor? He's not your enemy anymore, Chris?
I guess some Americans were your enemy, but they weren't the ones you thought were.
Why do I believe this? It's not a belief, it's a fact.
I like facts.
Okay, without some kind of hypnosis mind control, how is it even possible to talk to this guy and not recall the thing that you said and that injured you and go, you know, I myself was saying this other stuff. Maybe there's a contract he's not allowed to talk about anything that he said on CNN? Seriously. Is he under some kind of weird contract?
I don't know. Let's go back to this.
So the politics. I thought all my pro-vaccine colleagues would, that championed me on would be there to lift me up and help me. And in fact, they're the ones who turned around, dismissed, denied, and tried to censor and bury me.
Greedy idiots.
What do they think, you're chasing money?
What's that?
What do they think, you're chasing money?
Bait and switch.
I think that it's just the taboo around, like you said, about vaccines. They're afraid that by showing my face, I'll drive vaccine hesitancy. But what they don't realize, and what I have come to realize, is that the censorship and the hiding of it is actually fueling vaccine hesitancy. If the government had just said, hey,
reverse psychology.
These are novel vaccines, we don't, there will be reactions, let's just have a program in place to deal with them, set up the fund to obligate the manufacturers to provide help or research, I think the citizens would have appreciated that.
Hey, thank you for watching.
You're welcome, buddy.
Let's remember what he used to say.
The people who are not getting vaccines, who are believing the lies on the internet instead of science, it's time to start shaming them. What else? Or leave them behind.
He wants to leave them behind. Not because he blames you or for America's woes. He just likes your behind. He's a booty man.
Yeah, it's a fine line between leaving someone behind and getting behind them.
Because they are keeping the majority of Americans behind. The people who are not getting vaccines.
Look at Chris paying attention to this idiot blathering.
He's totally paying attention.
I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are not going to agree with this, but don't get the vaccine, you can't go to the supermarket. Don't have the vaccine, can't go to the ball game. Don't have the vaccine, can't go to work. You don't have the vaccine, can't come here. No shirt, no shoes, no service. That's where I think we should be right now.
Oh, that's
because
perfect.
we continue to waste our breath on people who are just not going to change. They're, circular logic. They just keep going back and saying,
dear God.
Talk about circular logic.
That should be a show he has.
You have to get a vaccine
I'll watch
to protect me. Well, if the vaccine protects you from giving it, won't it protect you from getting it? Why wouldn't you just go get your vaccine, and why would you care what someone else does?
This is a FF3/6
go get an experimental
Chocobo
medical
thing.
treatment to protect me.
What a game, dude. 3 all-time favorite SNES, bitch.
If you believe the vaccine worked, why would you need someone else
No more
to
needed.
go get a medical treatment?
Because it slows the
for
spread.
you. So, but you still have your vaccine.
Okay, but the way
you're
it
still
works...
If I get a polio
Yeah,
vaccine,
circular
I'm
logic.
vaccinated.
Yo,
No, I got my
okay.
sister to
You're
get
supposed to
it.
be
I got
vaccinated.
polio.
Oh, you can still spread it. Don't need it. That's simple.
And stop holding it back.
This guy's a fucking funny comedian, by the way.
Stupid track.
He's
no
so
shirt, no shoes, no
fucking
service. I'm
funny.
sick of these low-class,
Comedic
white
genius.
MAGA whatevers, and I can just see them now with their hillbilly joke with 3 X's blowing into it.
Dude, I blow out of my southern glass with a JBL Clip 4 in a Bell Mason jar.
I'm saying that they got to do this, but they're
And it's
They're
amazing.
almost like Hamas's. We should clear them out like Hamas's.
I like when a non-medical expert
Jars like
shames
doorway.
other non-medical
Where you
experts
gain your
for having an
acoustics.
opinion on something
Through
they're
a
being
Bluetooth
forced to take.
speaker, not your
You get
breath
to
in
have an
that
opinion
shit.
on it. Your opinion is it's fantastic. Your opinion was
Fist
handed
unless-
to you by Big Pharma and the government.
If they had Stelzer on right now, they'd have a full clip of Stooges. You'd
Watch
have
your
the exact
breath.
3 Stooges. You could
Blast
have
it through a JBL Clip 4 and a glass
I wouldn't
speaker.
shame somebody for having
You'll
that
thank
opinion.
me.
But if you try to shame blame anyone else for having a different opinion,
wants to hear
I'd say
shit?
fuck you and the wet market
Fuck you.
fat you wrote in on.
I imagine a lot of Don's extracurricular time you could term as a big bowl of bat soup.
Yeah.
Well, it's my freedom, it's whatever. I'm free.
Oh, my freedom.
Well, your kid's not free to give other kids meningitis in
No, they're
schools.
vaccinated.
I got to take a vaccine to do that. You take vaccines in order to be employed.
You have a healthy immune system.
What is the big deal? And all these people.
You don't need any of that
those
shit.
Other vaccines have 10 years of study before they're released to the general public. This one didn't have phase 2, didn't have phase 3, didn't have the 10 years.
It wasn't a secret. They said up front, we're going to rush this one.
Yeah, it's called an emergency use. It was called warp speed. They got you a new vaccine at warp speed.
Hey, I don't want to sound conspiratorial, but it sounds like if you didn't take the time you would normally take, it might be a chance it's not that good.
It's a chance.
Am I talking crazy?
That has been so graciously given to you by other people because you're not crazy.
I want to know if
so he's acting like because they, and by the way, he doesn't tell you, yeah, they changed the definition of what a vaccine is. Literally changed it.
Because he doesn't know.
He doesn't know that.
He doesn't know shit. I know all the experts. I'm Don Lemon.
So this is what Don Lemon is doing.
What a good guest. It's too savage.
Someone else told
CNN, Criminal News Network.
And he thought it
That's what it
without
is.
knowing anything about anything.
And look at it, Chris Cuomo. Poor, sweet Chris Cuomo. His brain is like an innocent young Justin Bieber. And here
It's like
comes
an
Don
innocent
Lemon,
young
like,
Justin
to
Bieber.
bend that brain over and fuck nonsense into it.
Fuck a vaccine into it. Now we got a droopy face and cancel this concert tour. Because he can no longer sing. He vaxxed his audience. Fucking rich. Come on. Jimmy Valmer, like, come on.
Ease up, Don Lemon. You're gonna make Noam Chomsky have an orgasm over here.
Don't do that.
No, he can't survive that level of physical.
It's coming right now, man.
Noam Chomsky, I believe, cannot survive.
How is there not a class action lawsuit against that guy?
Who?
Don Lemon.
Oh, because we
Fuck him up. No amnesty.
While they're so busy trying to censor the rest of us, people are going to have. It's amazing.
What?
Maybe Trump would do
how
something.
royalty works?
I'm a Republican.
Federal Minister of Health in Germany. His name is Karl Lauterbach, and he was on Heute Journal. This is basically Today Journal in German. Where the journalist is Christian Sievers, and Christian Sievers asked some really great, hard questions. But not only that, the actual mainstream media in Germany. This is a big organization, a big news organization in Germany. They actually ran stories of vaccine-injured people after the COVID shot. They had a 17-year-old gymnast, a lawyer who had a blood clot in his head. He had to learn to walk again. These are like war stories that we normally report on. The media never touches. They're running these stories. Take a look at what this looks like. And some of this is going to be in German, so we're going to come back and talk about this for those listening just audio. But take a look at this.
Aber millionenfach ist dieses Land.
Millions upon millions of doses of COVID vaccines have been administered in this country. Jeder Kuchen machen. Doctors, vaccination commissions, and politicians have been vehement in recommending vaccination. Some even wanted to make vaccination mandatory. It is clear that these vaccinations have prevented serious harm in millions of cases. It is also clear that they have side effects in individual cases. It's just that this aspect has so far received barely attention. Affected persons report being left completely to their own devices. Yes, it was my favorite. It was your favorite 2.5 years ago. Celine was a top gymnast and not just on the uneven bars. The 17-year-old was very successful, including the German Gymnastics Championships. But everything changed when she received her second shot of the BioNTech vaccine. 9. She fell seriously ill shortly afterwards. I could no longer walk, swallow properly, or open my eyes properly. Selena saw me. I had double vision and difficulty breathing. It was only then that I was taken seriously. Like they want to give you ivermectin right when you're about on your deathbed. So they spent a year in the hospital fighting for her life on several fronts. Suffering severe vascular damage and blood clots after the vaccination. And then recently with Celine Sievers, someone was recognized by the state of Rhine-Westphalia as being caused by the Comirnaty vaccine from BioNTech. Ooh, don't take it. She receives a monthly benefit of €854, which is weak. But it's not enough. Similarly, it took Christian police a year to get her injury recognized by the Bavarian state. After vaccination with Vax-injured and Vax-injured, the lawyer suffered a bridging vein thrombosis and had to learn how to walk and talk again. Now he is partially blind and lives with an implant in his head. Feels like wearing a helmet that's too tight. Christian pulse. The pressure is horrendous, especially in the sensitive areas. Look at that. There's just hospital beds, so life isn't great anymore. Bitch, it's never been. Quite the contrary. Federal Minister of Health joins us now. Good evening, Carl. The first one says, good evening, what do you have to say to these injured people? These unfortunate cases are heartbreaking. And every victim is one too many. You're the only one that gets too hot first, bitch. And my heart goes out to the people affected. They have very severe dismemberment, some of which will be permanent. No, it's permanent if they die, bitch. It's really tragic. But we have problems with both sides of this equation. We don't yet have the drugs for treatment. Research on those is proceeding at pace. And the care entitlements are often defined very narrowly, so I can see why the people here are making complaints. Fuck you, bitch. Sounds a bit like you're suggesting everything is under control, like you're trying to epidemic. These people will tell you exactly the opposite case, struggling for you being turned away again and again. Lots of agencies don't believe you, let alone reply to you, bitch. Never brain the government to recognize this vaccine injury, only to receive a pittance. Surely the government can't be happy with this. No, not at all, and I don't want to give that impression because that's not my point of view at all, so he saves his face. You need to get faster at recognizing these vaccine injuries. I thought they don't exist, bitch. I hate you. Like two hearts, bitch. I'm slowly gaining a clear understanding of the situation. However, to avoid any false impressions, I would point out here that, according to the latest research data, severe vaccine injuries are very rare. Oh, you said it like us, bitch. The incidence is less than 1 per 10,000. We said 1 million vaccinations. So they're digging a hole. So it's not like injuries uncommon, but because our understanding of the adverse events is now getting clearer and clearer, it should be possible to more quickly identify those who are affected. So we can help them more quickly. Because you injured them. Say that one. Mr. Labeck, were you in the summer of 2021 still claiming that the vaccine had no side effects? Oh, it was. That was an exaggeration that I once made in an ill-considered tweet. No, we saved it. But it did not represent my true opinion. No, it did. On numerous occasions, even before then, I spoke about the side effects of immunization. Yes, but on many occasions after that. You also said there were no side effects officially, no? More or less free of side effects. You said that on a TV show with Daniel. So you've always given the impression the side effects aren't really a thing. No, that's not the thing. That's just I said I've always been aware of the numbers. No, why don't you stop it? They have remained relatively stable. These vaccines have been used worldwide, so they murdered everyone. Now it's cool. 1 in 10,000, some may think it's a lot, and some may say it's not that much, like you.
I mean, I suppose if you're listening in audio, we will try to get out a version. Well, maybe we'll dub that over, but I think it's very important to hear these people in their own voices. Jeffrey, you know, I wonder if our audience watching this dwell in this space too much, get the significance of what just took place here. We are talking about, essentially, this is the Tony Fauci of Germany. So when this guy is saying things like, we are now recognizing the vaccine injury, we're working to be able to find it earlier. We're trying to discover treatments because we have no treatments that seem to work against it. It is so far different than what we're getting in America, which is from the same people. Remember, these are the same scientists. We're all at the same level. These are first world nations, top nations. This guy is saying we are well aware of these injuries. They're, 1 in 10,000, what he's saying, despite, whatever we want to think about those numbers, but he's admitting vaccine injury. We're here in America, everyone that's injured is being gaslit. I think this has just opened the floodgate, and this is unbelievable.
Absolutely. At 1 in 10,000, that is a number. So we actually have a health official that is committed to a number. He did the cardinal sin of government health officials. Safe and effective, safe and effective. That's all you're supposed to say.
Denial. He just dropped that ball.
1 in 10,000. Again, we know from Peter Doshi, from a lot of the studies of Pfizer's early data, in their trial data, that is a really high number, 1 in 10,000. But let's just take that. And so, he's talking also, Christian Sievers, thank God for him pushing these questions, because he really put this guy against the ropes. And I don't know if this guy knew it was coming, but my gosh, as you said, we don't have treatments for these people. We have a narrow window to define care that they can get coverage from. Other than that, they're not getting anything. We have all of these problems. But then the journalist, Christian Sievers, says, let's talk about liability. Remember, the total immunity from liability these pharma companies have for the products that these injectable products, these vaccines that they've given to people. And that's something on media in the U.S. here that's only been whispered once or twice by maybe a Barbara Loe Fisher or a Robert F. Kennedy Jr. over the past decade. That is something in the mainstream media that does not get talked about. Listen to what happens next.
Now you have just mentioned this exclusion of liability. This means the pharmaceutical companies can rest easy in all these lawsuits because the state has assumed the risk. That means the federal government is liable for any claims for damages that may arise. Are you comfortable with that? It depends what you mean by comfortable. Firstly, I wasn't part of the agreements at the time, but they become the responsibility by virtue of my office. And I think that's due to the situation at that time. COVID. But back then they wanted to use the vaccines as soon as possible at warp speed. Trump. So the state assumed liability. No, they didn't. Perhaps that was the right thing to do because it's better for the state to bear liability if they didn't. Than to face protracted settlement negotiations or losses with the manufacturers.
Wow, I mean, what's amazing is like, look, I didn't make that deal, so you can't put that on me. Obviously, my office is now stuck dealing with these injuries coming in. I'm the one to blame. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I mean, this is, again, a prime time,
played this in high school and won a competition.
Legit. This would be like Tony Fauci sitting on CNN or in front of NPR right now saying, yes, there is this small group of people that are definitely being injured.
Couldn't even play the G minor prelude or Rachmaninoff, who I owe for the first music. It's not a number one in D minor, like his third concerto already.
To me, this really, and we've said it every week, we feel like we're delivering, this is going to be the catastrophic blow. You cannot have a first world nation and their health minister stepping forward and admitting to vaccine injury. If this guy's job, if he's still in his job within 7 days, I'll be blown away. I am sure Tony Fauci, the WHO, everybody's saying, what the heck just happened here?
And what's interesting is he's talking about that liability, that total immunity from liability these pharma companies enjoy. And he said, well, at the time, it was just a thing. I wasn't party to that agreement. But, at the time, he's trying to smooth it over. At the time, we had to get these vaccines out. This is just something we had to do. No, this is not something you had to do. Right. Every country signs on. Israel, the United States created this thing. Germany, Austria, Thailand, it goes on and on. They all signed this deal. This is the deal with the devil that you sign when you reject your people. They don't get touched with lawsuits. And so for him to say, well, this is a one-time thing, no, this is standard operating procedure from pharma. And so let's talk about these side effects. So he's saying,
let's talk about numbers, because I want to hit on this 1 in 10,000 because I don't know where people are at. But I mean, there's high schools that have 10,000 kids in it, so one of them is going to, be severely injured. But when we think about that, 1 in 10,000 is certainly a far cry from the 1 in a million we keep hearing here in the United States of America is the vaccine injury, or 1 in 800,000 or whatever they're trying to say. But let's just take it for its word. 1 in 10,000. Where are we at? Like something like 290 million Americans have supposedly got this COVID vaccine?
Something around there, yeah.
All right, so you're talking about, like, what is that, 29,000 people? If we're going 1 in 10,000 people have been severely injured in the United States of America. Is there a product in America that has ever been allowed to stay on the market after severely injuring 29,000 people? And let's forget about the deaths. They don't even make it onto this list. You have to assume if you're being severely injured, what group of people are being killed? I mean, it's an outrageous number.
Exactly, and he sits up there. One of the things that he shot himself in the foot, as did most other health officials and government officials and public health officials, was he took to Twitter in 2021, along with other interviews, but this is in writing in black and white, before the federal elections in Germany. And they're talking about how these federal elections were kind of rolling in climate change agenda stuff to talk about. And he says this is correct. And it is also about why a minority of society does not want a vaccination without side effects, even though it is free, can save their lives and that of many others. That's why I'm pessimistic about voluntary sacrifices for climate protection. So he's going on record there. And
You're here,
they won't even take a perfectly safe vaccine and protect their lives. Why would they ever give up civil rights and be tracked for?
They recognize her. Well, they don't employ me. I could beat her, dude.
The Cardinals thing, now that he said it in Germany, how many people in Germany are watching this saying, wait a minute, My doctor told me that the injuries that I thought were happening because of the vaccine weren't because of the vaccine. And now the health minister, the Tony Fauci of Germany, just told me these vaccine injuries are real. I want to talk to somebody. So what happens that 1 in 10,000 this week after that?
1 in 10,000. That's so
now
many.
all those people can start coming forward.
3% died in the Pfizer EUA. 3% of 5 billion, dude. So many.
You see, I got my no vaccine for me shirt on. But the most confusing thing, I think, is these PC peeps that eat their PC poop, right? Yeah. And they got their loved ones that took the easy bake oven vaccine. And even more confusing, they won't admit it killed their loved ones.
No,
Right?
no, I can't.
Why don't people admit it? And that's going to be the title of this video. Why won't they admit the vaccine killed their loved ones? Why don't they admit the, quote, vaccine killed their loved ones, right?
There you go. This is a shirt to wear, bitch.
Man. You're seeing
Wear
people
his.
dropping like flies now.
Beautiful
all
shirt. I'm
over.
buying one.
I know
Get a chance.
15 people off the top of my head close to me that died. My grandmother got forced to take the easy bake oven vaccine in the nursing home. They never tested on anyone over age 55. My grandfather fell under the same circumstance in Florida. They got murdered. We're living in a modern day genocide. And you're watching people that are young have myocarditis,
I don't even know that used to mean.
Bell's palsy, strokes, everything else. But the worst part is the people that drop dead from the easy bake oven vaccine, and no one wants to admit it. Why won't they admit their loved ones died from the vaccine? What is so hard about it? Why don't they come to the table and admit it? Okay?
Why, though?
Oh, that's right. Because maybe they convinced them. Maybe they played their part, right? Maybe they were a bunch of greedy grifters that were scamming people and played along with it, right? That's probably why.
Maybe they were getting paid.
That's probably it, too, right? Or maybe they acted on fear. Maybe they, I was scared. Yeah. So rather than wait it out, rather than use some discernment, rather than to take your time and do the right thing, no, people bought into the hate. They bought into the persecution.
Oh, they bought into the hate, dude. Oh, hating everything.
They destroyed
Closing businesses.
They destroyed families.
Destroyed friendships,
they
families.
People off with a horrible, untested vaccine that wasn't a vaccine. Look what they did. They ruined our society. And they aren't coming clean about it? Like, don't people understand? Do people not get it? They're just, it's just business as usual, right? It's business as usual. Well, not for someone like me. You know what? If I want to go visit my grandmother,
You're like Mr.
or if I want to
Non-NPC.
go visit my grandfather, I got to go to the damn graveyard to visit them.
Yeah, with a fax code
from a fake
coming out of
ass
his grave.
vaccine.
No.
There was a fake vaccine that was rushed, Operation Warp Speed, right? And all the dumb little lib turds, you know what, that hated Trump, clamored to go take it. That's the even funnier part about it. That's the biggest joke. Like a normal vaccine would take 7 years to test. And they even told you that in the helter-skelter race baiting media. They rushed it out in a few months. There's slews of people dead now, right? And the same people whose loved ones die won't admit the vaccine killed them. Why?
They won't,
Why can't
though.
they
I've
come to the table?
attended funerals.
Why can't they swallow their pride and admit it was a failure, okay? I don't care if you're on the right, I don't care if you're on the left. Throw a set and admit what happened. Stop being weak. Stop acting like a joke.
Like the
You know what?
FEMAT, too.
This has gone too far. And you know what? Anybody that actually knows that there's not going to be any justice, like me, there's not going to be any Nuremberg 2. There's not going to be anything like that.
There better be.
There
There
never
might
will
not
be,
be.
because these people are never held to account. And you know what? I know a thing or two about the rotten medical system, and I could go into that all day long, okay? I had my own personal experience with them, and let's just say it wasn't too pleasant, okay? They're just scummy, greasy grifters, and they lied to people, and they're still lying to people. Didn't people catch on, you know, when the fact that Moderna, who never created anything, just jumped right into this, right? Did anybody think, nobody thought it was a big red flag when it was called Operation Warp Speed, right? And everyone from the cuck-servatives to the dumbass libturds that hated Trump ran to take it. Listening to Bill Gates, pretending and masquerading like he's a doctor, right? Right? People dropping dead left and right. They're still taking it, right?
Everywhere.
Oh, that first shot didn't work. Oh, maybe the second shot. Maybe the third shot. Maybe a fourth shot's gonna work, right? These PC peeps just don't get it. They got rocks in their head. They trusted the scummiest people that don't even care about their health. You really think the government cares about your health? There's obese people all around. And 95% of health problems come from obesity, right?
So fat now.
Tell me again how the government cares about your health.
bitch.
They don't give a damn. And they were fine to serve you up an easy bake oven vaccine that's merely toxic waste.
By reptilians.
They convinced millions of people to inject toxic waste into their veins, okay? They
Now
did.
they're lemmings.
And here I was. And here I had been for the past few years, walking around, talking, making these videos. You know what? If I had a few more people just on my level, just at least being outspoken like I am. I'm not doing much, but I'm doing something. Speaking out, voicing my displeasure, letting people know where I stand. You know what? The world would be a better place. Because what do we got now? We got a bunch of greasy, grifting, COVID-called cowards surrounding us, right? And sabotaging us. And you know what I can't stand? These fat people, these unhealthy people telling me, someone that's healthy, how I have to be. What I need to do to be safe. Yeah. Give me a break. Be safe, right? Be safe. Oh, take an untested genetic code injection that changes your mRNA.
They tested it on the animals. They all died.
Replicating a spike protein, and once you take it, you start getting everybody else sick, right? But even, like I said, the biggest mind bender is the people that won't admit that their loved ones died from the vaccine, okay? Time to own up to it. And if you got health problems and you took that shit, maybe you took 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, that should have been a big red flag too. It didn't work on the first one. It didn't work on the second one. But the people that are dropping dead after they take it, you got to realize, that's the bioweapon. It wasn't tested, it wasn't proven. It was a joke. It was a sham. It was a scam. We're
3% out of 42,000 died.
In modern time.
1,223.
And who would have thought? Who would have thought? I never would have thought. I knew our horrible satanic government was bad, but man, they dropped the bottom out on this one.
5 billion.
In the cognitive dissonance of the average PC peep that eats their PC poo. Can't they admit that their loved ones died from the vaccine? Admit it. Admit it. Time to admit it. Time to come to the table, okay? I hate to say it too. I know a couple of my loved ones had cancer, and once you take that easy bake oven vaccine, it speeds up the cancer. It's like throwing jet fuel on a little tiny match, and it just takes over your whole body, and you'll die of cancer.
I tried to deliver a medicine.
I'm calling on all the people to admit your loved ones died from the vaccine. Stop playing coy. Stop lying about it. Stop being PC. Lying. Stop eating their PC food. Time to come to the table. You know what? I'll die on this hill. I'll die on this hill. Because you know what? I love the people so much I lost.
Too funny, man.
And I actually give a damn. And you know what? Someday,
it's too truthful.
Down the road,
bless this man.
way far years from now, you know what? You know what the younger generations are going to ask you? What did you do about this personally? What did you do? What did you even say? Right? And what are people going to say? I don't hurt anyone's feelings. So I said, and, you know, I just twiddled my thumbs. Right? That's not going to fly. You know what? The good part is I have these videos. Like, this is like a video record that I actually gave a shit. Okay?
This is my video record.
I've been doing this shit for years. I
actually gave a shit doing it for years.
On my Rumble, from when I was on BitChute, I'm disgusted. I'm so disgusted that it went this far.
I ain't even bounced a Rumble yet. Get ready.
At where we're at now, because the average PC peep just doesn't want to admit the vaccine killed their loved ones. And you got to come to that point.
Just don't want to admit it killed their loved ones.
You're okay to admit it. Where you're okay to say, hey, yeah, it was a bad idea. Now what do we do?
Yeah.
Stop trusting these horrible medical systems. Stop believing the lies they're telling you. You do something different. You bring these people to account. You become Mr. or Mrs. Non-PC. Start calling these people out. I could go on and on. I know people that have horrible health effects, and they're just in denial. They're in denial about it. They don't want to put 2 and 2 together and say, hey, I did something really stupid. You know what? It's like taking a random street drug and all of a sudden, oh, your heart starts failing, right? It's like a bad batch of cocaine.
Oh, what the fuck was in that drug? My heart's failing.
Right? And all of a sudden you start okay, one thing would lead to another. An average person would say that, but see, there's still so much cognitive dissonance that the average PC peep that eats their PC poop doesn't want to admit that their loved ones died from the vaccine. You got to admit it, okay? You got to come to the table.
They can't, is it weak?
If you're still sitting on the fence about this, okay?
Karens,
you gotta
bitches.
You got to do the right
I'm
thing.
gonna die for it.
Because if you don't
Before
do
I
it
get the
now, when are you
cure.
gonna do it? And if you know deep down inside, why
Non-NPCs.
Now's the time to turn it around. Now's the time to admit that your loved one died from this shit. Be an advocate. Do something positive. Stop being negative. Stop being evil. You still have a chance to turn it around. And those people like me that warned people, some to no avail,
Another episode in the
and
hot
that didn't
punch.
take it and that didn't cave into it, we did the right thing. And we got to keep doing the right thing, and we just got to keep steadfast in what we're doing. But the people, they just got to admit it. They got to admit that their loved ones are dying from the vaccine.
They just got to admit.
Citizen from Full Measure sat down with Trump and asked him a very interesting question, and I want you to listen.
Yeah, I
to
didn't
his
vote for
response,
Trump.
and
I
I'm
didn't vote
talking
for
to all you
Kamala.
Trump supporters.
Man,
How
you're
in
a journey,
the hell,
bitch.
honestly, how in
More
the hell
attractive than Michelle.
you support him?
I'll give you that.
Still thinks
Still, you're a journey.
On COVID, you
Never
frequently
beat off to
say
a bitch.
at your rallies and so on that you don't feel like you get enough credit on COVID. But by nearly every assessment, the CDC failed miserably at job one. And yes, the COVID vaccines were developed in record time, but as we now know, they don't prevent infection, illness, or transmission, and they have very potentially serious side effects. Do you think that maybe they were approved too fast? And in hindsight, based on what we know now, what would you have done differently?
Well, I think they're doing studies on the vaccines, and we're going to find out, and it'll come out one way or the other. But I really had a mandate to get vaccines done, and I got them done very quickly, in record time. The Democrats love it. The Democrats love it, and the Republicans don't. It's very interesting. The vaccines, they love it.
Democrats love the vaccine, says the father of the vaccine.
I have a friend of mine who said to me, why don't you talk about the vaccine, what you did with the vaccine? He's a Democrat, but I'm sure he voted for me. He said, what you did was the most incredible thing that any president has ever done. You've saved hundreds of millions of lives all over the world. And this was just recently, first.
Now, I don't know if a guy really said that to him. And if he did, I don't know if the guy was really a Democrat. But the message that Trump is trying to convey, he wants the world to know, I saved hundreds of millions of lives in the big pharma plot shop. And you're going to vote for him.
Smart guy.
But he ain't done yet.
He said, I don't understand why you don't talk about it. And I don't talk about it. But if you go to Pfizer, if you go to some of these companies, they have charts and they have all sorts of statistics. And I say, why don't you release those statistics? Let people
It's the
know.
Pfizer docs, Mr.
But I don't
Dude.
talk about it. I can say this.
You didn't talk about
Democrats
Pfizer
would love
docs.
to claim it.
Because he's a
The
sellout
Republicans
bitch.
don't want to claim it. But it'll be determined, I'd say, over the
More
next 12
Republican,
months. I say this in terms of overall. I think I did
Expose
an
the Pfizer
amazing job with
documents.
COVID. I never got the credit for it. Remember
For
that
years.
more people died under...
There are products out there from the big pharma industrial complex who was handed massive billions and billions of dollars, trillions of dollars worth of checks from Donald
11
Trump
trillion.
to the big pharma industrial complex, to Pfizer, to Moderna, to Johnson & Johnson. Moderna.tx had on their website,
Nearly a
they even
third of
called it
our
back then,
GDP.
called a program, an app, like an application,
Sukas.
software like Donald Trump is proud to have been a part of spearheading
I was
that,
proud of
bringing that
genocide.
into existence.
Praise with the Jews. This is what you'll become if you don't get your shit together, Earth. You don't think they want this robot to be you? Fuck you, tranny, lesbian cunts. This was not easy again to make. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what you wanna hear. Keep my sunglasses on while I shed a tear. It's never the right time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I put my armor on, show you how strong I am. I put my armor on, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a pusher with no brakes. I'm invincible. And I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Break down. Only alone I will cry out now. You'll never see what's hiding now. Hiding out deep down. Yeah, yeah. I know I've heard that to let you feel sure is the only